I believe they're going to be the best offensive team in the league. They had 32 assists last night, 68 paint points, and 13 dunks. They're going to get out and run, but they're going to get stops, and it's going to be led by their best defender in Thompson, who I believe is going to challenge Victor Wembanyama in the next few years as the best two-way player in the game.
So, this here's the stats of the first game the Houston Rockets Big Three have played together. Yeah, with limited minutes, this looks amazing, and I understand that it was just a preseason game against the Jazz, but this gives us a slight glimpse as to what this team can offer come regular season. Not only do the numbers show us something great, but when you break down the film, you get to really see the reason people are so high on this team. As most of you know, the Rockets' identity is built on aggressiveness and defense, so here when the Jazz are trying to get into an action, you have both defenders in Jabari Smith and Tari Eason denying the pass, so that's why you see this Jazz player waving for Keontae George to go towards the sideline. As this happens, Amin and Reed Sheppard seamlessly switch, giving the Jazz no advantage at all, so this is when the second option comes into play, with the Jazz sending a cutter to the basket, but Tari is glued right to him while tracking the pass to get a hand on it, and right here when it ends in a loose ball, this is when everything becomes all about who wants it more. As we can see, Tari is the dog in the fight who makes sure his team comes out on top by getting on the floor to tip it out, and here we go with the fast break connectivity. This defense to offense will be something we've seen a lot from Houston, as I know everyone's focusing on the ball right now, but first, watch how Amin and Jabari switch this with ease, and now when we direct our attention over to the play that's happening, Sengun is pressuring the ball hard so this pass can be slightly more difficult, and although it looks like George has to step on Reed towards the rim, Sheppard keeps his hand out in that passing lane, which leads to a disruption. KD is in perfect position as the weak side help, and now Houston can force a turnover for Amin to go turn up.
Turnover force, kick out and ram for Amin Thompson. That's more like it.
Yeah, time and time again, we would see the defense be locked in from top to bottom, and it's great to see that even with Reed being undersized in this situation, he still aggressively pressures the ball to speed up the offense. With Sengun not worried about Kyle Anderson shooting from deep, he then collapses on the drive before hitting the paint, and just by staying with the play, Reed ends up stripping the ball out, leading to another Jazz turnover, and I don't know what they cooking up down there in Houston, but it surely got these boys playing with some flair. Trust me, the Rockets would just be in the right places at the right time on defense, which would lead to plays like this where Sengun would totally obliterate his defender on the fast break. And all of this here would flow right into their connectivity on the floor. When Amin catches in the corner here, he runs off the pick and roll with Sengun, and option one in these situations is to hit the roller. Well, with that pass being a tight window and Amin not focused on that option, the second option is usually a skip pass across the court because the weak side help defenders should be in the paint. As you can see, Ace Bailey is deep in the paint ready to cut off the drive, so at this moment, Tari Eason can either stay put in the corner, or if you look at him, you can see that he's in motion to cut towards the basket. As we roll the film, you're going to see both defenders commit to Thompson, which allows him to drop this off to Eason on the backside cut, and look now, this makes the last defender in the pick and roll action have to rotate over to cover the cut, leaving Sengun wide open, so the dump off for the layup inside is made easy. With Houston wanting the ball in Amin's hands more this season, it's going to be pivotal that he's able to get 2 feet in the paint to be able to collapse the defense like he does here, because once you have 3 defenders all guarding you and the other 2 ball watching heavy, you not only have the option to kick it out to the top of the key, as you can also hit the wing as well, but this time he decides to no look it out to KD, who could decide to rise up over the smaller Walter Clayton Jr., but this is what unselfishness looks like, as KD quickly touch passes it over to Sheppard, and this one right here takes a couple bounces off the rim, but it still drops in. Now it won't just be Amin being the starter of this fluid ball movement, as Houston has many guys who can attack the heart of the defense to then locate a kick out, and with everyone on this roster being highly confident players, there's practically no hesitation when it comes to letting it fly. If you ask me, Houston already had a cohesive unit last season, but this year things become much easier. If you look at this pin down action here with KD and Amin, instead of coming up the floor, Amin is going to switch it up to cut back door, and at this point, Ace Bailey and his teammate fail to communicate effectively when it comes time to switching, all because they're more worried about who's going to stick with KD, so this here opens up an easy pass for Sengun to make over the top to Amin, forces the defense to slide over to cut off anything inside, and although they stopped 2 points, they've now given up 1, 2, 3. Now, like I stated a little earlier, Amin is going to have a major responsibility of creating within the offense, as his ability to get downhill is pretty much second nature, which will grant guys open looks for them to score the ball. No matter where he starts from, he's able to establish himself in the paint to make the defense shift, and although Tari Eason misses this 3-pointer here, Capella is right there to tip it to himself for the easy 2-hander. On the flip side of things, if he isn't opening up others, well, his much improved handle had him shaking defenders not only once, but twice when he was navigating to the rim, and man oh man is that special right there. I know when you look around the league, Amin doesn't have the most crafty handle that's going to break defenders time and time again, as instead, it's his athleticism that makes him practically unguardable once he gets going.
Weaving, scoring, and got fouled.
He can use it when he's cutting back door to then up fake into a two-handed slam, and then when he's on the defensive side, he can launch quickly into the passing lane to intercept a pass, and now 2 more points are added to the board with ease. Not only will Amin be one of the main initiators of this offense, as Alper and Sengun can locate his target in a quickness, and before you know it, this slam is on your head. The best thing about Sengun is that he's always surveying the floor for an opening to exploit, and at the same time, he can create for himself as well, so as he gets into this post-up, you're going to see the defender start to brace himself, but wham! The spin move is so fluid, it leaves the defender in the dust, and as you all can see, the help is rotating over, but it doesn't matter, because Amin is cutting back door to receive the pass to go finish. This ability to find the open man no matter where he's at on the floor, or how quick someone gets open is extremely valuable for this team, and if you are to try and double him to force him into a bad decision, he'll still find an open teammate for the bucket. Like, seriously, he'll take his time on the floor when creating, and if you send that double thinking you're gonna stop something, he'll show you that he was already 2 steps ahead.
Draws down, jumps it off to Thompson.
Offensively, Sengun doesn't just add passing. He's already shown off that he can use that slight handle before using that hezzy to pull up over the top, and for how comfortable he is at flowing into it, I'm sure this is something we will see a lot more of in the regular season. He'll also use his size to go right into defender's chest to then convert a bucket in close. And if he's not the one putting the points on the board, then it'll be KD rising up off this pick and pop for pure butter.
Wow. 0 for 3 and then lights out since.
When you get a guy like Kevin Durant, it doesn't take a whole lot. It's as simple as one screen to open up the floodgates for him to operate in space. And if the defense isn't literally right in his grill when he starts to rise up, well, there's simply nothing the contest can do. And granted, I may be wrong, because even if you are to be right up on him, KD will initiate the contact to get you up off him, and this one here ends in an and one.
Rockets can get even bigger.
Oh, that'll count.
Now look, I understand that this is a preseason game, let alone against the Jazz, so we can't take it all the way serious and whatnot, but it does show you a little glimpse that this Rockets team looks very solid. Not only will the offense be in sync, as they have many guys who can create looks for not only themselves, but for one another as well, but on the defensive side, this team has always been locked in, and with a year under their belt when it comes to playoff experience for some of these guys, I believe this season will be their time to show the league that they mean business. I think trading Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks away for KD was a solid choice, as they have a lot of guys who can score and contribute in many ways, but hey, what do you think? Do you believe Houston can make a deep playoff push this season, or will KD not really move the needle? Let's talk about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.